Organic molecules. For all living organisms, 4 types of organic molecules are essential: carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and nucleic acids. As you read, study the structure of each organic molecule and note its function in the cell. Carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are organic molecules composed of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen in a ratio of 2 hydrogen atoms to 1 oxygen atom. The number of carbon atoms varies. Carbohydrates exist as monosaccharides, disaccharides, or polysaccharides. Carbohydrates are used for generating energy in all organisms and building structures in plants. Monosaccharides. Monosaccharides are the simplest carbohydrates. The most common monosaccharides are glucose, fructose, and galactose. Plants manufacture glucose during photosynthesis. It is the main source of energy for both plants and animals, and is metabolized during the process called cellular respiration. Fructose is found in fruits and is the sweetest of the monosaccharides. Galactose is found in milk and is usually in combination with glucose or fructose. Glucose, fructose, and galactose all have the identical molecular formula C6H12O6. The structure of glucose is shown in the diagram. The balls represent chemical elements and the lines represent the chemical bonds that hold the elements together. Disaccharides and polysaccharides. In organisms, 2 monosaccharides combine in a reaction forming a double sugar or disaccharide. Sucrose, a disaccharide found in sugarcane and sugar beets, is composed of fructose and glucose. Lactose, a disaccharide found in milk, is composed of glucose and galactose. A polysaccharide is a complex molecule composed of 3 or more monosaccharides. Like disaccharides, polysaccharides form through the linking of monosaccharides. The most important polysaccharide found in living organisms are glycogen, starch, and cellulose. Animals store glucose in the form of a polysaccharide called glycogen. Glycogen, sometimes called animal starch, consists of hundreds of glucose molecules strung together in a highly branched chain. Plants store glucose in the form of a polysaccharide called starch. Starch molecules have 2 basic forms: highly branched chains that are similar to glycogen and long unbranched chains that coil like a telephone cord. Cellulose is a polysaccharide that gives strength and rigidity to the plant cell. In a cellulose molecule, thousands of glucose molecules are linked in long, straight chains, which help support plants. This is indigestible in humans and is called fiber. Fiber helps keep the digestive system functioning properly. Lipids. A lipid is a molecule made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, and phosphorus. A lipid molecule has a large number of carbon and hydrogen atoms and a smaller number of oxygen atoms than carbohydrates do. Lipids are used in organisms for energy storage, protection, and making cell membranes. The lipid molecule has a relatively large number of carbon-hydrogen bonds, which store more energy than the carbon-oxygen bonds, more common in the molecules of other organic molecules. Additionally, lipids do not dissolve in water. Because of this, lipids are perfect for making the barriers between cells. The cell membrane is composed mostly of lipids. The insolubility of the lipids in water forms a barrier between the watery environment inside and outside the cell. Fatty acids. Lipids are made of molecules called fatty acids. The illustration shows the structure of palmitic acid, one of many different fatty acids. Fatty acids can be arranged into 3 different kinds of lipids: triglycerides, phospholipids, and waxes. Triglycerides that are liquid at room temperature are called oils. The lipids found in plants are usually triglyceride oils. These are often found in seeds, where they serve as an energy source for sprouting plants. Triglycerides that are solid at room temperature are called fats. The triglycerides found in animals are usually fats. Phospholipids are lipids that are used to make the cell membranes of all living things. A wax is a type of liquid that is highly waterproof. In plants, wax forms a protective coating on the outer surfaces. In animals, wax forms protective layers too. For example, earwax forms a barrier that keeps microorganisms from entering the middle ear. Proteins. Proteins are organic molecules composed mainly of hydrogen, oxygen, sulfur, carbon, and nitrogen. Formed from amino acids, proteins are used for building structure and controlling chemical reactions in the body. The skin and muscles of animals are made up mostly of proteins. Enzymes are chemicals that are essential for the life processes in both plants and animals. Enzymes control chemical reactions in the body. Each species or organism has thousands of unique proteins. Nucleic acids. Nucleic acids are complex organic molecules that store genetic information in the cell. Nucleic acids are composed mainly of hydrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, carbon, and nitrogen. The two most important types of nucleic acids are DNA and RNA. Deoxyribonucleic acid, or DNA, stores information that is essential for almost all cell activities, including cell division. Ribonucleic acid, or RNA, stores and transfers information that is essential for the manufacturing of proteins. Both DNA and RNA are composed of thousands of nucleotides. As shown in the figure, each nucleotide is made up of three main components: a phosphate group, a 5-carbon sugar, and a ring-shaped nitrogen base. References for this reading are 1. Curtis and Barnes, Invitation to Biology, published by Worth Publishers Incorporated in 1981. Johnson and Raven, Biology, Principles and Explorations, published by Holt, Reinhardt, and Winston in 1996. Tolley, Modern Biology, published by Holt, Reinhardt, and Winston in 1989.